All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. This is Mr. Squirrel. We're playing a little bit more DC Worlds Collide. We're not really playing DC Worlds Collide. We're getting ready or setting up synergies and helping people understand how to plan out their plan of attack. So this isn't a synergy, or this isn't the tier list video. I'm using this as a start point because I'm going through these 6 characters, and I really want to highlight how to build teams around these team synergies. I've already done the Lex Luthor one. I didn't like that one in the sense that I think it was good in the sense of how I broke down characters, but I don't like how I labeled the list. So I'm gonna I reframed it. You'll see the Superboy one before this one. I think the Superboy, I like the Burn one a lot better than I like the other one. So what I did here is I'm going through Batman. Now, Batman is a single target character. Now, you're going to notice this. I put this Superman. He is actually not single target, but I'm using him as a stand-in for the new Superman. Because the new Superman is a single target character. He is labeled as a single target character. Batman is very good. He gets a lot better later in the game. And then the new Superman, I think, is also very good. I think both of them work well together. Now, the one thing with this new Superman, though, I actually think it's actually good synergy versus so much synergy, because he needs burn. Like, he really needs burn to be peak. And so I don't know if he is like the perfect partner. Is he a good partner? Yeah, he's good. I wouldn't say he's perfect. Does he work? Is he serviceable? Yes, very much so. One character that I think is actually really good, as long as you got a good front line, is actually Red Hood, because Red Hood has a revive. So he will be down for 2 turns and then he gets back up. I think if you have a character that can, if you have a team that can keep him alive, then can keep stall out so he can come back, it works really, really well. I actually think that I think this is the best team, the best tank you can put with Batman, which is Nightwing. Which, hey, I wonder why. Not like he was the first boy wonder. So he's honestly one of the better tanks for Batman. Batman's giving him more damage. It's really, really nice synergy. And he's single target. Now, Black Manta, I actually think is pretty good. He does a lot of damage, and if he crits, it hits like a truck. But he's an elite, so just keep with that. I really don't like Damian. People can probably make him work. I should just say he's good synergy. Now, I'm not going to talk much. I also don't like his character. So I'm just kind of like, we're not going there. Some people might like him. Fine, do whatever you want. So she's single target. But she needs healing. So this comes back to, we're back in square one, ladies and gents. And that square one is you need characters that are, doing outside of things. So one of the things with Batman's passive, his team synergy, is that you're noticing here is that it's not bad, but we're waiting on more characters. And so I wanted to run through kind of a couple things that other characters that I think work really well. I'm going to just tell you Lex does work really well on his team, because he's bringing one of these guys out. As long as you have another person that is, what's the word I'm looking for? He needs, excuse me. I think I like Lex a lot. I think he does a good job sustaining. I think he just needs a little bit of help sustaining, especially in longer fights. But overall, he is good. I think you can pair him well with, now, I've already kind of made a video about this. I don't know if this is going to come up before or after it, but just be wary. Now, actually, you know what? I'm going to do this. If you're running Nightwing, they have anti-synergy together, because that shield does not allow Nightwing to proc. So towards that end, you need to be very careful. So the way I would do this, either you're running him or you're running him. You run either one of them. Now that I know how they're operating, that these two guys do not operate together the best, I am much more cautious about running these two together, because Nightwing is not doing his things, and that is not good. You want him to be doing, helping the team. You want him to be countering. You want him to be blocking. He can't block me out of shield. At least my preliminary tests are showing that he needs shields. He does not want shields. But if you do run Nightwing, now I know this isn't the best thing in the world because he's got an AoE, but they are so synergistic together that you should be running them together. Now, this is one of those situations where, yes, he's not particularly like point blank getting buffed by this leader skill because he's technically under the AoE, but he is so synergistic with Nightwing, that you do want to run both. These two, to me, come as a pair. You need to pair both of them up if you're running them because, I mean, well, he doesn't need him. Ocean Master needs Nightwing. He needs Nightwing. Just for poops and giggles, we're gonna do this. Where is he? So now, as we think about this, another character that you can run. There we go. We got our healer. This team is very good. I think this team works real well. You've got Batman, Red Hood. You've got Nightwing, and then you put these two in the back. So the only thing here is you might want another tank. With that, to just some tanks to consider. This is where this gets a little tricky in the sense that, like, personally, if you're running, so bad. This is where you also start hitting some issues. Now, I might actually move him out in lieu of what character am I looking for? Blue Beetle. So Blue Beetle does get kind of clowned on by the community, but Blue Beetle goes really well with this team because he reduces crit damage down. Blue Beetle is also, he's got a little bit, he's going to get a little bit more block value. So then Ocean Master's really kind of working well. You're doing a lot of damage. Also, because you're doing so much single target damage, because of Batman's passive, you might be able to kind of like get through this. But there is things to consider. Now, if you're not going to run Ocean Master, you can do something like this and then move Blue Beetle out and then keep this. This can work also well as well. You've got your three characters that give single, so then it triggers Batman's passive. May potentially work. Another character to think about. So you can take him out because technically it is a single target, and that they can work well the other two because she's actually single target. She's going to do more damage. She does have a damage ult. She is kind of healing, like shielding up the team. So could this work? Totally could work. Now, you know what you could also do here? You could also make him your leader and then run this team as well. That can work as well, because then you've got I'm not going to get into it. Never mind. So now the thing you don't want to do here is there's no synergies if we got like our AoE characters. So another tank that I actually didn't think about right now. So again, I'm going to put these here. These do work. Is Bizarro. Bizarro can actually be but then if you have Bizarro, he is a single target. He is that stun. He's other frostbite. Then you need sustain. You need a sustainer kind of keeping him up. He will die fast because he's taking damage from Nightwing. But then again, you do lose damage in this setup. So there is a lot of give and take here. I actually think Batman has a good leader skill or team synergy, whatever it's called. But you're kind of noticing right now, the way I'm thinking about this is that you really want... I have issues with some of the tanks in the game because they're not tanking the best. And that can be very problematic kind of overall. There's different ways to think about the team synergy. One team that I always think a lot about is John Stewart, because he's also he's single target per se, but what ends up happening with him is he's doing weaken and then he wants to get hit a lot, but you need someone to sustain him. So there's a lot of kind of things at play with this in the way I'm kind of thinking about these good synergies. I mean, I can literally just throw all these characters up here and just be like, here you go. But I think when I'm thinking about no synergy and brother, well, I mean, there are other characters that do work here, but a lot of them are AoE. And by work, you got to be careful with that. I think Batman's leader skill is okay. It's good, especially for single target bosses, but you're seeing kind of how I can move characters around depending on the situation. So I would put him he's right here. They're good synergies. Mass synergy. There's no synergy. All the AoE characters are no synergy. So there's the rest of them down here, pretty much no synergy. It's all like AoE. The AoE video is going to be interesting. So I would really think about kind of like, as you're kind of thinking about this and the way the teams are operating, I actually think, who else can go here is actually good synergy, because she is, I think, it's single target, so that she can revive a character. This could actually work if you have them down here. These three work really well together, and then you just bring her in. Like, you literally take these three and then you pair the rest of the team. So you can also use that Superman, the new Superman, you can put him in here as another tank. I think actually this works decently well, but then you're kind of running into that pull burn issue. Because there's not a lot of burn acting on it, so he's not really triggering everything that he wants to be triggering. And then he's a good tank though. So I mean, you do something like this, that works. Would I say it's like amazing? It's good. But is it amazing? I wouldn't say amazing. It's just good. But again, is it bad? No. Does it work? Was serviceable? Very serviceable. But is it like, oh my God, so good? Now, the last thing I want to say, this is an initial tier list. The game came out like a little over a week ago. And again, the mess synergy, it's kind of hard with these synergies, because this is more of just kind of like, I'm just showing you who kind of works well and the ways you can kind of pair them up in different ways to make your team work. But this isn't like an exhaust. I'm going to go through every single character. There's a ton of these videos. I'm really not trying to make these videos more than like 20-ish minutes, as I'm just trying to make it quick to the point. Who are you going to pair up with these characters? And then, So the moral here is, you just think about these characters moving forward. I think they're really good. Works with Batman. Increase that damage. I would say this is a good start point, especially the new DCU Superman. And then again, you're coming back to that same issue. Okay, great. Now I need a sustainer. I think he's the best way to go. He can work. I think he can work pretty well, especially with the new DCU Superman, because he'll increase block value, and you don't need to worry about it. He has that cheat death thing, so that works out well. And then let's say Blockmaster, kind of works. Does, I think, actually kind of meet that need, but you're going up against a team that has a lot of AoE, then this team is not going to work well. Then it also just changes depending on the team you're going up against. But overall, I think to think about it like this, that's the way to think about it. And again, this is the DCU Superman. This team does work. Here's your two tanks, here's your two deeps, and then add in a sustainer, and you're good to go. You can do this way. You can do, that would work if you're trying to cheat death. This could work too. That could work as well. I would say either pick 1, 2, 3, or 4. One of those. Like, pick one of these. But those are good synergies. They're not like exactly on point synergies. I still think we are waiting. I'm gonna just say this as you're watching these videos. I'm curious to see the new supports and the new sustains that come into this game. This game, I'm noticing it. Like, I go to timer a lot. By timer, I mean like close to those max turn counts. Maybe that's just the way I'm playing the game, and it quite possibly could be. I do like to play these games more as like the sustainer, the paladin playstyle, like heal and shield. Right? That's just always been the way. Maybe like, that's the new way to play. Well, it's just I like doing that. I just I like being the tank. I like just kind of like brute forcing it in the way that like you heal, you shield through it. That's just my general preferred play style. So I always like putting a sustainer on. I'm not big on the sustainless comps, especially in this game, because as you will in the beginning, it's fine, and especially in those like transition levels that are really easy, you just fly through them. It's like whatever, wee. But like as you start hitting those points where it's like it says like medium, hard, you're gonna need to sustain them, because you're not gonna be doing enough damage to kill someone off super fast. Maybe as time goes on, this team can just you'll one shot like a few of the characters really fast, and then you have less characters to deal with. That could also be a reality. And then in that case, I think then like something like the maybe you do go sustainless in that comp, and then this might actually work out really well, because then this might actually work out really well in the sense that like you put these two up in the front, you put Lex in the back, That way he's just constantly sending people out to attack, and they're just doing their thing. That could work real well. But, you know, context matters. So I appreciate the feedback I'm getting. I try to respond to all comments. So I really do appreciate the engagement everyone's giving. It is really nice to hear different opinions. I really try to stay open-minded with these ideas. I'm trying to look more at the elites. I am just going to say this as a contextual point. The elites are going to fall off as the game progresses, because not like the legendaries will overtake everyone as the game gets more and more, because you are dealing with 5 ability versus 4. Now, could some of those epics have way better abilities than the legendaries, and then so it compensates for that? Totally. But I really do think we need to watch out, because that 5th ability, I mean, you're getting access to doing one more thing over someone else. So just food for thought. Again, I'm trying to keep this in mind of like thinking as you're progressing forward, as you're moving forward. I'm trying to not tell you just do it this way. I'm rather just trying to say contextualize the way you're thinking about it, but also in these games, it's really important to kind of plan out where you want to go. Like for me, if you ask me what is my plan moving forward, man, this video turned into something very different, but whatever. Like I have a shield comp, that's my tier, that's going to be my main comp, and then I'm hoping that I can pick up like either, it's going to depend on what the next character I get. If I get Blue Beetle, I'm going block comp. If I get Superman, I'm going the old Superman, not the old Superman, but the one that's already been in the game. I'm going, my next team is going to be a burn comp. So it really just depends what the next character I get. Now, it would be, if I get Supergirl, then I'm going to wait and then just see if I can get other characters. I have an AoE comp that I can do. I'll talk more about that in the next one. I really want to talk about Batman, because I think Batman has a unique synergy with everybody else, in the sense that like I think this one is going to expand a lot, and also it's really good for bosses. Not all bosses, because some bosses want AoE, like Ultraman, but just food for thought. Okay. Again, I welcome all of your feedback. I appreciate the feedback I'm getting. I appreciate the views. If you stayed this long to listen to me ramble on, more power to you. And if you want, like and subscribe, do what you got to do. And other than that, have a great day. And remember, fail is just your first attempt in learning.